everybody, we're going to get into seated pigeon. Let's just look around, okay? There's no judgment here. We're all looking around. Everybody just bring that ankle on top of the knee. If you have hip replacements, you won't be able to do this, so you would cross at the ankle just in case. The top foot is always flexed. That's called dorsiflexion. It needs to be flexed so it engages the inner knee and protects it from getting overstretched when you do pigeon. Same as if you would do it on the floor. So now let's look around, okay? Some people's shins are parallel to the floor. Some people's shins are maybe 45 degrees, like mine. Over here, what's your name? Nicole. See everybody hers? She has great external rotation of her femur in her hip socket. That's why she can do that. Let's do the other side. Sometimes they're usually the same, but sometimes they're different. So this one's pretty similar. You can see right now that that is going to affect how you each do your poses because of what your anatomy is. So we can put that down. So Justine is that first picture. You can see she's very similar. She has a very good external rotation. Her shin is parallel to the floor. Easy peasy. Do you think she can do full lotus? Yes, absolutely. Okay, there's me in the middle. 45-degree Sherry. There you go. I was really bummed when I really started getting into Ashtanga and yoga and things like that. Why can't I do a lotus? I can't even do half lotus, let alone full lotus. Why can't I? Something must be wrong with me. I'm in my 40s and I'm thinking I should be able to do that. I was a gymnast, blah, 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 blah. And I went to a session with Roland Matthews. I don't know if you guys know him. He does Feldenkrais. And he said, Sherry, what you have is you have a hip socket that does not allow your femur to rotate freely, okay? So you either probably have a deeper hip socket, so that femur goes in there and it can't move as much, versus more of a shallow and a wide hip socket. Doesn't that make sense now? As soon as I heard that, I said, well, thank you for giving me the permission now that I don't have to do full lotus and kill myself. That's what we have to remember. We're not going to fight with anybody's anatomy, especially an elderly person's anatomy. And then look at Michael. His knee is up to his armpit. So guys are even going to have more restriction in their hip sockets because they're not built to bear children. That is why I think I've had 2 C-sections, because my hips did not open up when I was delivering my babies. So all of that comes into just what your anatomy is. Now, let's say, okay, well, Sherry, that's interesting. So what? Well, that reflects right in your warrior 2, right there. Okay. How many times I heard when I was doing my Ashtanga and my regular yoga is when you're in warrior 2, you want to have both hip bones, right, your little pelvic bones there, to be facing forward as your knee is out to the side. Well, there's no way I can do that because that requires the external rotation of my hip, doesn't it? So for Justine, look how easy that is for her. You can see her torso right dead center facing in towards you. That's so easy for her. For me and Lucy, we have a little slightly different angle because we can't quite open up there, but you could even see Lucy at 80 years old has more of a rotation than I do. And then look at Esme, the one that's really fragile and frail. I would never correct Esme. I would never say, take a wider stance, move your knee this way and that. So that's really important. So that when I realized that, I realized, wow, all of those cues that I learned when I took my Hatha yoga training and I did my Ashtanga, they don't work anymore with this population.